Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Cubs convention, day one. Happened yesterday. Thought I'd do a little bit of a wrap up. Um, Cubs convention is always a great time. It's a celebration, and I don't know. It's one of the things that makes us us. We're just different as Cub fans, as a Cub organization. So the Cubs convention is fantastic, and I kept my finger on the pulse yesterday. Got a little wrap up for you. So day one Cubs convention at the Sheraton Grand Hotel in Chicago, and weather was an issue. Blizzard came through. A lot of the upper Midwest got hit pretty good, and there was some talk that it could have some issues, but they went ahead with it. It looks like it they pulled it off. Had a great crowd. So opening ceremonies, the legends were Sutcliffe, Pat Hughes, Billy Williams, and Fergie Jenkins were the four legends on stage, wearing blue jackets with the rest of the guys in the white pinstripe home jerseys. Just an awesome look. Just I get goosebumps when the opening ceremonies happen every year, and it didn't disappoint. I guess the first thing that happened is Shota Imanaga became a fan favorite. I mean, we've had situations where players really sort of steal the show, but Shota really did. He came out to Welcome to the Jungle, and the place just went absolutely crazy. And so he sits down. He's got an interpreter with him. So you just assume he's going to talk through the interpreter. Well, Shota pulls the mic up, and the first thing he does in his Japanese accent is speak English. Broken English. It's what you would expect. It's fantastic. He says, "Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today." And from that point on, he just had us. Great personality. Really kind of a very interesting. He described himself as a pitching philosopher. So I just think I think we've got something here that it's going to be entertaining. The fans are already in. Some of the things that were getting thrown around are Chicago Cubs, and he didn't talk to Seiya during his process, and I thought that was interesting. We just sort of assumed that he would have, but he said he didn't. I guess he didn't need to. And he was in Chicago since Christmas. So he's been laying low. I mean, now that we know and people are looking back, I'm seeing shots of him with that, out and about in Chicago, but just flying under the radar. He's going to wear number 18, and he chose number 18 in honor of Ben Zobrist. I guess Ben was his favorite player. So Shota is number 18 in honor of Ben. And then when he was done, they did an interview through his interpreter. I mean, he didn't speak any English throughout the whole interview, just the snippets. But he ended his interview with "Go Cubs Go," and of course, I like that. So that was Shota Imanaga, fan favorite right from the start. It's going to be very interesting. In fact, Dansby, wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, looking dapper, had said that Shota is way cooler than Seiya. I guess that's probably true. The next thing that happened that I thought was really interesting is Aramis, Ramirez, and Kerry Wood are going to be inducted into the Cubs Hall of Fame in 2024. So they were at the Cubs convention. Well, neither of them knew about this. So they were coming out. They were scheduled to come out. Well, they were told the news just before they came out, and it was a very emotional scene for both Aramis and Kerry Wood. It'll get you in the feels pretty good. If you're an Aramis fan like I am, if you're a Kerry Wood fan like I am, you could see it. It really got them. And I just wanted to let you know, Aramis in the news now. I did a video on Aramis. Go ahead and look through it. How good is Aramis? You need to see it. Aramis was really good. And I've got a piece on Kerry Wood's finest moment, the 20 strikeout performance against Houston. And so if you haven't seen those yet, pull those up, have a look. So Aramis and Carey, 2024 Cubs Hall of Fame inductees. It's fantastic. This Cody Bellinger thing. The fans start chanting Cody, Cody during Tom Ricketts' speech. And it started me thinking, like, if you're Cody Bellinger, at this point, he's still unsigned. He's probably had a chance to sign with some other people, right? I mean, he could have, I'm sure. But my question now, and I guess before I say it, I'm more convinced now that we're going to get Cody Bellinger back. And obviously I'm not certain, but I'm just saying I'm more convinced. I'm really leaning toward Cody's got to be coming. And my reasoning for that is, very simply, why wouldn't Cody Bellinger want to play with the Cubs? He's got the whole fan base, right, that we love him. We're chanting his name, Wrigley Field. Is he waiting to see what the signings are and make sure we're going to be good? I guess maybe. I don't know. But my point would be, if I'm Cody Bellinger and, I had struggles with L.A., Cubs gave me a chance. I came to Wrigley and had the season I did. The fan base, just being a Cub. It just doesn't make sense to me why Cody Bellinger wouldn't want to play for us at this point. What else is he looking for other than, an extra million here or there? So I'm very optimistic about Cody Bellinger coming back as a Cub, just sort of based on that, right? He's got to see that. Wouldn't surprise me the way Jed has laid low on all this, right? Jed has been in stealth mode. If Cody Bellinger makes an appearance before the convention is over, wouldn't that be something? If he comes walking in, God, that's what I would do if I was them. So we'll see. There's still time. Speaking of Jed, some things Jed said. Number one, about Belly, he said, Belly knows how we feel about him. And that's it's almost like we've done all we can. Belly knows it's in his court. He also said that in terms of the offseason, the hot stove league activities, that we're just in the fourth or fifth inning of that. So there are moves that they're working on still to come. And, I don't know. One of those moves to me is, I think, the Chapman talks. There's still a lot of Matt Chapman talk still alive, even after the Bush signing or the Bush trade. So Chapman talk still alive. Jed says we're just in the fourth or fifth inning of the offseason, so there's more to come. And look, Bush is going to play. Jed said point blank, Bush is ready. We need lefty bats. So, we assume Bush is going to play. The piece that I did previous talks about that. DH, first base. I think the Belly signing kind of will dictate that. Belly first base, Belly center field, how that works. So I think possibly Bush's use is still to be determined, but we're going to see him play. There was a sign in Chicago, highway sign. I'm not sure what highway it was, but coming into Chicago, the overhead sign, and I wrote it down, so I'll read it to you. It says, use your turn signal when making moves unless you are Jed Hoyer. Then just start making moves. That was great. Jed saw it too. He knows about it. So that's Jed. Christopher Morel update. There was some talk beforehand that Christopher wasn't coming and they didn't know why. And it's like, well, has he been told that he's being moved? Whatever. Well, Christopher tweeted out he wanted to be there, very disappointed that he couldn't be. And the reason he wasn't there is because he had visa issues, and that he's very excited. He'll see us very soon in spring training, and he can't wait. So according to Christopher Morel, he wanted to be here and just couldn't. Some other just light things that I thought were kind of interesting. Pedro Strop was there, and he looked as fly as ever. I love me some Pedro. Pedro Strop looking really good. And it reminds me that if you aren't really up to speed on Pedro, there's a video that I did on the Jake Arrieta trade, and Pedro was the second piece. Pedro and Jake came over from the Orioles in the same trade, and there's quite a bit on Pedro. So if you haven't seen that and you want to get a little more insight on Pedro Strop, you can do that with the Jake Arrieta trade video. That's on the list. I think the other thing that I thought was interesting is PCA's haircut. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and try to have a look. PCA had a haircut that was getting a lot of action. So that's Cubs convention day one, as far as I can tell. That's sort of the highlights. Looking forward to another big day today. I'll keep my finger on the pulse and anything that is, I think, Cub fan newsworthy, I'll be sure to jot down, and I'll do a piece for us tomorrow. So in the meantime, have a great day. Go Cubs, go.